Hi, my name is Zico at Alpha Temp Technology, and in this video I'll be taking you through our high and low temperature mineral insulated PT100 Class A 4-wire temperature probes. So the probe sheath is made out of stainless steel and it comes in two different diameters, a 3mm diameter and a 6mm diameter. They come in three different lengths, so we have a 250mm length, 500mm and 1 meter. So in terms of the construction of the mineral insulated PT100 platinum resistance probes, it consists of an outer metal sheath housing the PT100 element and the conductors, which are embedded in a highly compacted magnesium oxide powder. This construction allows the sheath to be bent or formed to shape as required by the user, but remain rigid during use. The whole assembly is hermetically sealed, giving the conductors full protection from the operating environment. So to give you an idea of how we can actually bend and form these actual temperature sensors, I'm going to be using these probe sheaths to demonstrate it. And as you can see, I've played around with this a lot with a 3mm one. So if I take this one, what I can do is actually I can bend it at right angles. So if I hold that and bend it like this, you can see it's quite easily done. So you can also coil it up so it can actually fit in, say, an enclosure or something. So if I was to get that and I was actually to kind of make it into a coil, like that, you can see you can easily do this and it'll still read fine. So to demonstrate with a 6mm metal sheath, because it's obviously a larger diameter, it'll be a bit harder to kind of form with your hand. So you can actually use something like a vice grip. As you can see, I've been playing around with it in a few takes. So say for example, you get your vice grip, you hold it in like that, and then you can then just bend it by hand like this, like that. So say you've got it in your oven, the back of your oven or your furnace, it goes in like that, and then you bend it on the outside. And if you wanted to actually shape it to go round the oven, as you can see, there's still quite a lot of length there. You can also keep on bending it at different angles. So you can also use pipe bending tools, but I'll just use a vice grip now. So say for example, you want to go across the oven and then at another angle, you can get your vice grip there. And let's just show that. And then we can bend it again. Like that. As you can see over here, we've got a couple of bends. We've got over there, but we also can create even more bends if you wanted to. So yeah, in a nutshell, this is what you can actually do with these probes really. You can either coil them up and bend them at right angles or do multiple bends. So with a 3mm one, you can do it by hand, and the 6mm one, you could do it by hand if you're working out quite a lot in the gym, or use something like a vice grip, or even if you're a professional, you can use something like a pipe bending tool. So as you can see, it's quite flexible as to how you can shape and form these actual probes. Now they come in 2-meter silicone insulating connecting cables. Now silicone cable is ideal for this type of probe as it is flexible without being springy and has a high temperature rating. Now silicone cable has a low initial memory and therefore can be formed to shape and will stay in that position without pulling back to its original shape, unlike PFE, PFA, FEP and to a lesser extent PVC. So as an example, if I get the cable and I bend it like this, it will stay in position. Now the cable is terminated onto the probe and covered by a stainless steel pot seal with a spring strain relief at the cable entry. The other end is terminated in a 4-pin mini DIN plug. So when you plug it into one of the Pico PT104 data loggers. We also supply them without a connector as an exposed wire. So if you wanted to use it with any other instrument that takes a PT100 input. Now in terms of specification, it uses a PT100 ohm element, and the sheath material is a mineral insulated stainless steel. And in terms of temperature range, the 3mm diameter one has a temperature range of -200 to 650 degrees Celsius, and the 6mm diameter one has a temperature range of -200 to 850 degrees Celsius. Now, in terms of accuracy, the probes follow a Class 8 tolerance between -200 to 650 degrees Celsius. The 6mm diameter probe from 651 degrees Celsius to 850 follows a Class B tolerance. The cable insulation is silicone, and the cable and pot seal have a temperature rating of -60 to 200 degrees Celsius. And in this particular case, it's terminated in a 4-pin mini DIN plug. But as we said, we also supply them without a connector. Now, it's worth noting that even though this temperature probe can measure really low temperatures and really high temperatures, it's best to use one probe for every application, really. So, for example, if you had a freezer or a cryogenic freezer that you want to measure the temperature of, you wouldn't go and use that same probe to measure, for example, an oven. What you should really have is one to measure your cold temperatures and one to measure your hot temperatures. Because if you have these sudden changes in temperature from high to low, this will degrade your probe. So it's best to use one probe for every application, really. Now, the typical applications include automotive, aerospace, medical, laboratories, cryogenics, and storage and transport. So thank you for watching this video, and for more information, please visit our website.